All right, y'all. Welcome to National Prayer Breakfast. I'm one of your hosts.
Give the mic-
Olivia.
Give the microphone to Keith.
Keith, can you take over and do the favors? Oh, wait. We're still playing music.
Yeah, that's copyrighted.
Yeah. It's a band that won't sue us, though. Because they're not a band. That's how it works, right?
Welcome to National Prayer Breakfast.
Oh, no.
I have decided to hijack this podcast and turn it into an ASMR. So if you're out there and you like ASMR and have been thinking about killing yourself, consider BetterHelp.com. You can go there and use our promo code living on a prayer 10, and you can get 10% closer to not wanting to die.
Gotta put the work in, though.
Well, we talked about sending the cops to someone's house.
Oh, we need an ashtray.
If they're suicidal.
Right.
Would you rather if your friend sent the police to your house, or if you were like, I'm thinking about ending it tonight, I can't go on, and they texted you a link to BetterHelp.com?
Ooh.
Are you asking? Damn, she got me. Are you asking what I would prefer?
Yeah.
To receive?
Yeah.
Fuck the police. BetterHelp.com.
I don't know.
If the police show up, I'm gonna go through with it.
So
For sure.
The other day when I was, well,
They might help you out.
it's no secret. I tried some mushrooms the other day.
It'd be
And
Officer Lloyd.
I was thinking about if the cops showed up because I get paranoid, and I was like, if the cops show up, I'm gonna be like, come on in, boys, come hang out.
Wow! Why don't you just come on in?
If you're listening, Aaron just gave you the worst fucking legal advice I've heard in my life. Definitely never invite the police into your house willingly and have them slip the search warrant under the door.
Yeah.
And if you're thinking about killing yourself, consider calling 911. They may be able to help you.
If not,
If you're considering killing yourself,
BetterHelp.com.
if you're thinking about killing yourself, consider getting some of those fucking sunglasses first. Nobody kills themselves in sunglasses like that.
Listen to these sunglasses. Don't those sound...
Can I try one?
They just sound glorious. If you're thinking about killing yourself, in all seriousness,
Oh my gosh.
just
All
wait.
my suicidal thoughts have just instantly gone away.
Yeah, just get on Amazon and place an order for some colorful visor sunglasses, and you'll have about 2 extra days to contemplate killing yourself, and by the end of those 2 days, who knows, you might have a change of heart.
Yeah.
This is
Amazon.com.
Amazon.com.
The number one...
Help now.
The suicide hotline by
Okay, this is a dark fucking episode.
Every episode.
We need to
is a
say a
dark
prayer.
episode.
Can we say a prayer?
This country's suicide prevention plan is just wait till your next Amazon package arrives, at least.
Yeah.
At least wait.
Yeah. Don't kill yourself. We got a drone on the way.
You've got a package coming.
Yeah.
Oh.
It will give you a hit of serotonin.
This episode could be dark and spooky.
There was a article floating around on the internet that some woman who was a nurse like a patient died and she used their debit card for the vending machine and she like got arrested and fired. It's like, oh fuck. But like, yeah,
I thought you were going to say like tons of charges, and then I was
no, just like the vending machine, like $5.
And I was going to say like, oh, that's so stupid. Like, obviously trackable. But the vending machine is just so not worth it.
Oh!
Like, she got, like, one of those, like, 2-ounce packages of Cheez-Its.
Fuck, they're so bad.
With, like, 10 Cheez-Its only.
Or a microwavable hamburger.
Yeah.
You ever had one of those in the office?
Yeah, like a Hot Pocket.
I've had many a microwaved hamburger in a plastic sleeve.
Yeah.
No, babe.
Well,
I've never eaten one of those.
It is funny that companies are like that. They're like, hey,
chicken?
We're not going to feed you, but we thought, we're going to let some vendors in here, and they're going to give you some microwavable options, which we'll profit off of a little bit.
No, I lied. I have had one of those.
Oh,
It was on Amtrak. I ordered a cheeseburger thinking it would be I don't know.
Isn't it weird that on Amtrak, like, you would think that, like, on a train, they'd have, like, something decent.
Hi, chicken.
Train. You know?
Yeah. It used to be a
it's dog
luxurious
Yeah. Have you taken the train?
Amtrak, like, when I was young.
Okay. Like how young? Like a kid?
The Dixie Chicks album, not Fly. What was the one with Goodbye Earl on it and Long Time Gone?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
That album just came out, so I had a CD player. I was listening to Goodbye Earl on repeat on the Amtrak.
I love Goodbye Earl.
So good.
I love it.
Earl had to go.
Dude, her husband,
Earl had to die.
Natalie's husband, is in that music video.
They're just the chicks now, you guys.
It's so wild that he cheated on the woman that wrote Goodbye Earl. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
If there's one person you don't want to cheat on,
Yeah.
she don't fuck around.
No.
Neither
does Carrie Underwood. Because she'll carve her name into your leather seats.
How do you guys feel about Lady Antebellum?
I'm not super familiar with their work.
Same.
But I know they changed their name.
So here's what the story was, as I recall. So during the summer of 2020, there was the George Floyd tragedy.
Yes.
And directly after that, there were a bunch of celebrities who just, like, all of a sudden realized that they looked bad, or like Lady Antebellum.
Mm-hmm.
And she changed her name to Lady A.
Mm-hmm.
But what the problem was that there was already a Lady A, and it was this cherished, like, respected singer, this African American singer.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
So, I think they, like, Lady A, like, wound up suing this black lady. Like, or vice versa, like, in a fucking legal battle to steal the name Lady A.
The other thing that's weird about that is the name, the Lady A, to replace Antebellum, like, the first thing someone's going to think is, like, well, what's A stand for? And then they're going to search it. And like,
Antebellum.
Yeah. It's almost like the A word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, she turned it into, like, a new N word or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty hilarious.
Yeah,
she should have just changed her name to the A word.
So I feel like in 2020 everyone figured out who they were, and we figured out who they were. You know, like everyone,
like Demi.
Like Demi. I was thinking more like Andrew Cuomo, who. Immediately after the pandemic started, but before people realized that he was murdering elderly people in nursing homes and lying about the statistics.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he murdered a bunch of old people, basically.
How?
He moved... Something like he wanted to reduce the numbers of, like, the hospitals were overcrowded because of, like, previous cuts or something to Medicaid. So to cover up that mess that he created, he moved, like, sick elderly people from the hospital back to the nursing home, and then it wiped out tons of people in nursing homes, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
During that time, the very summer of 2020, he released a book about how well he handled the pandemic. like at the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Like because he was posturing for a political move, I believe.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he's a fucking monster. And then they figured out that his brother, what's his name? The other Cuomo, Chris Cuomo, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say
CNN's
Fredo,
Chris Cuomo.
but
yeah. He was lying to like I don't know.
He was doing a lot of things. So he was while working at CNN, and he was like interviewing his brother, which is like a clear conflict of interest. And then, but he was also advising his brother on how to handle his brother's sex scandals. So like he was like on like I guess moonlighting as a consultant on like how to handle being accused by multiple women of.
Oh my god!
Which, by the way, that job, what that means is he was telling his brother how to discredit, victims.
Yeah.
Like, he was like telling him how to paint the women as sluts or whatever, like that is the job if you're doing that.
Yeah.
But then he also had some kind of Me Too situation.
Yeah.
His was he like grabbed his boss's ass at a party or something, like at an office party, and then like he got home and he sent an email like, "I'm sorry I grabbed your ass at the party," or something like that.
Bad move. You gotta apologize in person.
It's a bad move,
yeah.
like legally, but it's also sort of like, well, at least he apologized. And, regretted it immediately. Like that's cool.
Yeah.
That was nice of him.
Not very smart to put it on.
Well,
give it a trail though.
That reminds me of the Herschel Walker, Christian Walker thing.
Yeah.
Liv, are you familiar with Christian Walker?
No.
Let's watch a little Christian Walker.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Herschel Walker is a famous athlete or like former athlete. Like he was in the NFL. No. But I think he also did like boxing or something. So. Yeah, he was a former running back who played in the NFL.
This is his son.
And his son is also very conservative, but his whole thing is he's black and extremely gay, and both anti-black and anti-gay, basically. Yeah, just click on it.
At this place, I'm never gonna want to come back. I hate it here.
This is Christian Walker. If you don't know who Christian is, you might know his dad, GOP candidate Herschel Walker. And when it comes to political views, like father, like son. However, Christian is a bit more outspoken.
Yeah, I didn't sign up to live in unicorn fairy tale land. Take me back to America. Where the f*** do we live?
Christian's interests include Gucci, Donald Trump, and eating Chick-fil-A. He doesn't know this or being called gay.
I'm attracted to men. I don't want to be lumped into the LGBTQ ABCDEFG community.
2 months ago,
What?
Christian moved from California to
What's
Florida
so?
because of
Yeah, so he's gay, but he says like he's male attracted, which I've also I've heard like extremist like communist gays do that too, which is so funny. He's like a conservative, but that's actually like a total snowflake move. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gay. I'm
Right. I need a special word for me.
I need a special word for me, which like all the language is like gay. Gay doesn't mean homosexual either. It's just like a way for, I don't know, people to refer to them as a shorthand or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean he's a ridiculous character. A lot of his content like it revolves around going to Starbucks and like going on a rant against like liberals. Like I'm sick of all these blue-haired, overweight liberals. I want a big, strong man with huge muscles who's gonna bend me over. Or, like, and then he's like, his window's down, and he's like, right after he ends the sentence, like, hi,
Yeah.
can I get a mocha frappuccino?
What?
So
Oh my
Starbucks
God.
workers are like hearing all of his like weird liberal rants. But anyway, this story, his dad is running for a Senate seat in Georgia against Raphael Warnock, who was one of them, like Democrats that won the runoff election and got the 50-50 split.
Yeah.
So Herschel Walker had a scandal break. He's very pro-life and like he's against any abortions with any exceptions, so like rape, incest, all that. And it came out that he paid for a woman to get an abortion a few years ago, and he I guess like she had a receipt for the abortion, and he wrote her a check for like the same amount like at that time.
Yeah.
And he also sent her a get well card. Which is the sort of like what reminded me of it, like, well, that's kind of sweet. But then like he does want to take that away right away from everyone else. But
oh God, these
so he
motherfuckers.
Instead of like trying to be like, well, this was from my past and I wouldn't do that now, which I wouldn't believe anyway. But he's like, no, this didn't happen. I send money to people all the time. I have no idea who this woman is. Right? And so Christian Walker came out, his son, and is like exposing his dad. He's like, that's my dad's handwriting. He cheated on my mom all the time. He was physically abusive. We had to move 6 times in 6 months. Like, just like basically just ending his dad.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because Christian was like, he's getting a ton of shit from Republicans because they're like, why are you saying this? You're going to lose us this seat. Like, we don't actually care.
Yeah.
And Christian's saying stuff like, don't any of you actually care about, like, that he actually was, like, not being faithful and was, like, paying for abortions? And it's like, Christian, they don't. Yeah. We've got some news for you, Christian. And, well, Christian is also... I don't think he's all that principled either. I think he's kind of doing this as like a way
It's a grift.
promote himself, but we're not going to talk about that until after the election.
Yeah.
But so anyway, there's a new update to this story. So Herschel Walker denied knowing this woman at all, right? She's a baby mama. Like, he has a kid. He had like another kid with her. So like he pays her child support. Like he knows her.
Yeah.
Quit! He tried to be like, I have no idea who this woman is, and then it's on record he's paying her child support.
Yeah.
Well, he...
oh my God.
This is a classic example of how people make mistakes. And if they repent and find God, then it's... I mean, take Jim Baker, for example.
Yeah.
He went to prison for being a fraud. And then he found God again. And now he's back doing the Lord's work.
Yeah.
Legally.
Yeah.
Legally. They have to do it legally. Legally.
Legally.
I had a conversation with my dad about, like, the border. Not really the border.
Huge pressing issue here in Kansas City.
Right.
Yeah.
I had a good political conversation with my dad, if you can believe it. Because I've just kind of been figuring out how to talk about things like this and just how to be a little bit more respectful
Less
about
of a dick, a little bit.
Yeah, I'm still giving him breadcrumbs to just figure out, like, the Fox News is poisoning my brain. That's what I want him to know.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, it doesn't really make sense that you and your dad would have different political views because, you're really in the same boat. If you zoom out to, billionaires or whatever,
right.
There's not
That's
really...
why I think most people would. Like, if they knew... And that's kind of so a lot of people's criticism of Marxists or whatever is that they don't present a solution or whatever. But I do think that it's like very valuable to present people like my dad with like criticisms of the system that they are not going to get otherwise, you know? Yeah. Because it makes people, like, if people knew how they were getting fisted, like, it would be mayhem. Like,
I think there's also solutions. Like, I think there's a lot of, I mean, we kind of have our work cut out for us, really. Like, there's so many things. I mean, I don't really know. I don't know if, like, currently there is, like, a fully Marxist society.
Right.
And maybe there doesn't need to be with our current paradigm or whatever, but, like, we can make a lot of improvements, and, like, you know, Scandinavian countries are sort of a hybrid system, and they're doing a lot better than we are.
Yeah.
The thing that blows my mind about, like, I don't know, just those types of people, Fox News people, whatever, is that they have no understanding, or like it never occurs to them to like analyze why they're getting the information that they're getting, you know, like who might have a vested interest in making them hate immigrants or what, you know. And it's just like, you have the internet, like, you know, I can't believe, like, I was talking to my dad about like conservative think tanks and like who owns them and whatnot, and he's just like, he's ignorant of that stuff. And it's bizarre,
just say,
he knows enough,
just like totally in denial too.
Well,
he
just
knows
say like
the philosophy behind the, like, he knows Milton Friedman and like Thomas Sowell and all of those propagandists, like for the Heritage Foundation and whatnot. But he has no, like, it doesn't bother him that they're owned by like oil tycoons. Like, I just...
But you should just explain it like, hey, have you ever heard of this George Soros guy?
Yeah.
You know that's like a thing all over the political spectrum. Like, why wouldn't it be?
Right.
Why, if you had a lot of money... I mean, if I had a shit ton of money, which I think... I haven't looked much into it. I think George Soros is way less involved in that than like the Koch brothers, certainly. Maybe there's a reason that he gets brought up a lot. But it's I think we all need to be a lot more like critical about who's benefiting from the worldview that's presented to us. And stuff.
A good example on the other end is kind of liberal people who have the blinders on, like, that maybe put too much stake in the Washington Post.
Yeah.
It's just like, why do you think that's owned by Jeff Bezos? Why do you think he wants to own the Standard in liberal media? Like,
Jeffrey Bezos.
Do you think they're going to be running like pro-labor pieces and shit like that in the Washington Post?
Yeah. Well, like, I guess the current, like, conservative or, like, Republicans don't respect institutions, and, like, establishment Democrats don't question them at all.
Yeah.
And then you have, like, we've kind of talked about, like, the left sort of, or I just think in general you should always be critical of the media you're consuming, and, you know, socialism or social democracy is becoming a lot more popular, and like the internet, like anything, if you can get a lot of attention on the internet, you can make a lot of money. And there's people like you know, I don't know if you're familiar with Jimmy Dore. Former Young Turks fame. You know, they produce great people always, but he's someone that's sort of like a leftist that's like, he sort of has like an attitude about like both like any candidate that's like running for either party is equally as bad. But Jimmy Dore has like gotten incredibly wealthy by you know, getting a lot of clicks by selling kind of this doomerism. And I don't know, like, he's smart enough to know that even if there's no difference between Biden and Trump for him, for someone who, got poisoned by toxic jet fuel burn pits in the Middle East and now needs health care and the Republicans don't want to pay for it. Like, Biden's a huge difference. So it's sort of like a similar profit motive, like, can create some really, like, fucked up people.
Yeah. I see your point. I don't, there's many things that, like, when I have listened to Jimmy Dore, I've been like, well, I agree with that. But,
he's of course. Like, and I think he can be really funny.
I don't, see, sometimes he's funny. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about Jimmy Dore, but I still fuck with Chris Hedges very heavy.
Yeah, well,
I love him.
I think he's in a whole different league than any of the Young Turks folks.
Sure, but they all, Jimmy Dore and Chris Hedges know each other. Mm-hmm. They've had each other on.
Yeah, it's a political. I mean, I guess it's probably a lot more fringe, this type of thing, than like Fox News. So it's probably not the biggest issue, but it's something that I guess it's got like accelerationism, where like maybe we should just let things get worse, and that way everyone will wake up. And it's something that like I kind of thought for a while, like right up until the 2016 election when I did vote for Hillary, because I was like, maybe things getting worse won't make things better.
Yeah.
But it's this idea that like maybe like everyone just needs a wake up call. And then, like, everyone will realize there's problems to get fixed. And, like, I very, like, firmly believe that's not going to make things better.
Right. I don't know. I do feel like there's some momentum, possibly for, the leftists in America.
Yeah.
Right now, I think that kind of what the left needs to do is basically capitalize on rage right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess if anything, I mean, there's so much, it's so bad already. You know what I mean? Like,
and yeah, I think that at a certain point, like, I don't know, they can't hold out on things like healthcare forever. And I think that they know that, like, deep down, like, we all in our age think universal health care is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm sure that there's some people listening who are like, oh, fuck, whatever. Like,
yeah, and
but most of us, unless, I mean, there's a lot of people who are kind of upper class or whatever who don't think that. Probably.
What's so frustrating about that is the voting bloc that opposes Medicare for all has Medicare. I fucking hate them. Like, God damn it. I mean, I want old people to have Medicare, but fuck you, old people.
They're
what? No, what? Let's pass a bill. No one over 65 gets Medicare. Everyone under 65 gets it. How about that, bitches?
Yeah.
It'll be a lot cheaper, by the way. You're the ones with all the bills.
Yeah.
Seriously. Well, also, I mean, like, I don't know. It's just ridiculous.
That is the attitude of them, though. Like, they're
like,
just
this is America.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't mean anything anymore. Though.
I know. But, like...
yeah, it's like...
we suck at everything.
We
suck at fucking everything.
Yeah.
We ain't good at nothing no more. Our, like, education, our health, our economy, our people, like...
We are an empire in decline.
Yes!
100%.
So, alright, chicken. I don't know. Just kind of crazy.
Chicken.
Red chicken? Red chicken?
Yeah, we should lighten the mood a little bit.
Red chicken?
Move on to some
yellow chicken?
More Olivia-friendly topics.
Wait, I thought we could actually raise the temperature and maybe we could like get in a brawl, like a big
fight.
Well,
like punching? Physical?
I think eventually, No. I think eventually Aaron and I are going to have a moment on this podcast. You could say our Elizabeth Hasselbeck versus Rosie O'Donnell moment.
Okay.
If you're familiar with that.
No.
Oh, really?
No. Do we need to pull it up?
Well, we can. There's this iconic moment from The View where Elizabeth Hasselbeck, who was like, you know, your typical Fox News, blonde hair, extremely gorgeous pageant girl.
Yeah.
That got in a fight with Rosie O'Donnell over Iraq.
Okay, who's who in your mind?
I'm Rosie. Certainly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
wanted to be clear.
Fox News, bitch.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, there's a moment where in
bimbo.
that back and forth that Rosie O'Donnell got so much of my respect because she said, I don't want to fight because the media is going to, like, the way the media will see this is big, fat, lesbian, loud Rosie attacks innocent Christian Elizabeth. And, dude, it was like she read my mind.
Yeah.
It was exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I think, Rosie O'Donnell's hilarious.
Yeah.
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
She would, on The View, she would, like, talk about, like, I'm not so certain Bush didn't, like, have a part in 9/11. They need her back.
They need her back. She was in Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Wait, why did she get canceled?
I don't know. I don't think she got canceled. I think she had a big, huge brawl with Trump, so maybe she just sort of went into hiding when he got elected.
Yeah.
Wait, what was her brawl with Trump?
Well,
She went into hiding.
she made...
Yeah.
She was in exile. Yo, I'll come back when the Democrats have.
She, like, just mocked Trump on The View. This was around that same time. She, like, pushed her hair to the side and was, like, mocking him and saying, like, she doesn't think he actually has that much money. Or, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
We've all heard these attacks on Trump now, but back then, like, people just kind of like, oh, that billionaire guy with the hair. So then Trump responded, and Trump's, like, response was, like, I mean, it's very offensive, but he was like, Rosie is disgusting inside and out. She's just like a big slob. She curses like a truck driver. Like, it was.
What did Rosie say? Like, was she offended, or did she like?
I mean, Rosie lives for this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, oh my god, I would frame that tweet.
He was also like, he said a line. He's like, Rosie better be careful, or I'll send one of my lesbian friends over to take her wife. Why would she stay with Rosie if she?
He's such a child.
Yeah.
He's just a. Oh my god. Yeah. I'm gonna send my lesbian friends over to fucking man.
Actually, know what? Let's bring up.
Nana boo boo.
Yeah. Hey, can you double check that we're still recording?
Yeah. That
Thanks.
sounds like some good errand work.
Get your strong arm.
Something I can handle. Yep, we've been on for 33 minutes.
Perfect.
Yep. What kind of snacks are we working with at the moment?
Sorry, guys. You know our filmage has been. We're working with a dated MacBook and computers, so or a phone.
From the viewer, though, it looks all.
Yeah, it
like
looks
it's
great.
easy. Okay.
We just have to make sure she got storage.
So if we just search Donald Trump versus Rosie O'Donnell, it's the first one. God, he's such an asshole.
Wait, where was? Oh, here.
He's
Donald.
such an asshole.
My stuff's so quick and
I gotta look up this Christian.
Just
yeah.
follow him on Instagram. It's so ridiculous.
Wait, who did we say?
Rosie O'Donnell. Yeah.
Well, Rosie O'Donnell's disgusting.
Yeah, pause it for
Both inside and out.
such a dick.
Go for it.
Bear with us, folks. We're waiting on
Aaron.
Aaron, are you coming?
I'm coming. I got the snacks.
Oh, we got peanut butter crunch.
Peanut butter crunchies.
All right. Well, you can't eat while we're listening.
Yes, I can. Hang on.
God, that's so loud.
You literally can't.
All right, we're good.
Well, Rosie O'Donnell's disgusting. You go inside and out. You take a look at her. She's a slob. She talks like a truck driver. So, I was very happy when her talk show failed. The other thing that failed, and this was a real monster, and everybody was suing her, was her magazine. Her magazine called Rosie was a total disaster. So I loved it. I gloat over it. I think it's wonderful because I like to see bad people fail. Rosie failed. I'm happy about it. Well, she called me a snake oil salesman. You know, coming from Rosie, that's pretty low because when you look at her and when you see the mind is weak. I don't see it. I don't get it. I never understood. How does she even get on television? I believe Barbara, and I think Barbara's probably paying a big price. If I were running The View, I'd fire Rosie. I mean, I'd look her right in that fat, ugly face of hers. I'd say, Rosie, you're fired. We're all a little chubby, but Rosie's just worse than most of us. But it's not the chubbiness. Rosie is a very unattractive person, both inside and out. Rosie's a person that's very lucky to have her girlfriend. And she better be careful or I'll send one of my friends over to pick up her girlfriend. Why would she stay with Rosie if she had another choice? She's trying to use ABC and The View to get even with me. But with me, we fight back. I'll probably sue Rosie because she doesn't tell the facts. As an example, I'm worth many billions of dollars. Now, she said I was bankrupt. I never went bankrupt. So probably I'll sue her because it would be fun. I'd like to take some money out of her fat ass pockets. I actually think they ought to look at her whole life and see where she's coming from because I think she's got some very deep-seated problems. Perhaps it should be Rosie that goes to rehab. Rosie is a loser.
God damn.
He's the devil.
Why was that like? Yeah, I mean he's horrible.
He's the devil.
Why was that like almost lyrical? Like
It was insane. Yeah, it was like watching a rap battle.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was just all off the dome.
Many billions
like-
of dollars.
It's like not all like funny or clever, but it's all horribly mean.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah. Well,
But it's also just like
like with all things.
so childish.
Yeah, with all things with Trump, it's funny because it's unbelievable that someone would be such a cunt. Like he's on like television, and he goes on like he's doing an interview, and he's like, I would look her right in her fat ugly face. Like he's just so brazen.
Ah. That man.
She's a loser.
I'm done.
She's a loser. I don't know how she gets on television. he's so fucking spiteful.
One of the dumbest but hilarious Trump comebacks was during one of the debates. I think it was like one of the Democratic primary debates. So like Hillary and Bernie and whoever else was there. Hillary was late coming back after a commercial break because she was in the bathroom. And Trump gave a speech about this and he was like, I know what she was doing in there. Like referencing that she was like taking a shit. And like the audience was loving it. Like they were like laughing and it was just like literally like the way kindergartners would be like, she went poop. You know, like, it's like, yeah, Hillary Clinton takes shits. You know,
Yeah.
like, or like peas, whatever. Like it's so funny. He had her. Real gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And every other fascist up there just looked around. They're like, we can do that.
Yeah. I mean, I was at your apartment think we were like drinking, watching the Republican debate, and it was the debate where Trump made it like leading up to that. Marco Rubio had done on the campaign trail said something like, "Trump, his hands are small," and you know if his hands are small, what else they say. So just like in the middle of the debate, Trump was like, "Marco Rubio said I had small hands. That meant something else was small. I guarantee there is no problem."
Yeah.
Like, just like literally in the middle of the debate, like, I've got a big dick, don't worry. There was like some other, I think that was the debate where Ted Cruz had a booger on his lip. God, that was so good.
Oh, yeah.
Little did we know.
The fly on Mike Pence was
Yeah.
good too.
Yeah, also the first debate with Biden when Trump was just like fucking manic, like he was just like going,
Yeah!
that was wild. I think there was something, he had COVID. We later found out he had COVID at that time. So maybe it was that and he was like on a bunch of cough syrup. Or I don't know what it was.
He was high on some shit.
Hell yeah.
Indeed.
I can't stop eating these.
Aaron, what's another news story you would like to...
Well, you were telling me about old Dave Rubin, who would be, he's a good character for us to cover.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, well, we do need to... Maybe we'll save that and introduce the audience to Dave Rubin. If you're watching now, Google like the Majority Report Dave Rubin, because they probably have the best sort of just mocking his idiocy.
Yeah.
Know what I did want to talk about though is the Kim Kardashian SEC lawsuit.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
What?
So she has to pay the SEC like a fine of like $1.3 million.
Yeah.
Because she was pushing this crypto and she didn't disclose, like, they paid her $200,000, which is like illegal or whatever. But what's so fucked up about this is this crypto that she was pushing, she was like, hey, I just got some insider news about this crypto that's about to like be the next big thing. So it was like a pump and dump scheme, but
right.
It was called Ethereum Max or something like that. And you probably heard like Ethereum is one of the more legitimate cryptocurrencies.
Right.
And this is Ethereum Max is completely unrelated to Ethereum because it's not like copyrighted, I guess. They just like were trying to
Make it, yeah.
sound off, like a cheater brand or whatever. So she got a shit ton of people to buy this, and I guess like from that time period, it's lost 99% of its value, the cryptocurrency. And the most fucked up thing is, I guess, like this post, because she has like 300 million Instagram followers. I guess 20% of the country saw this. Like 20% of America saw this post, and 19% of the people that saw the post bought that cryptocurrency. And I did the math, like if this math is right, that's like 12 million people like took financial advice from Kim Kardashian. Isn't that fucking crazy?
Yeah.
You don't think about the reach that like, I don't know, like celebrities have, but...
Yeah. Well,
That's terrifying.
And by the way, she only got $200,000.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Someone else probably
What?
made billions overnight.
What a dumbass, Kim.
Well, yeah.
Get off your ass and work.
Get off your ass and buy Ethereum Max.
I made Aaron watch a episode. We watched
yeah.
Kardashian season 2, episode 1.
It was weird because, like, I was, like, depressed yesterday kind of, already, and then I started watching the Kardashians with you, which, as far as I can tell, it's just a movie for literally the peasants to, like just worship their oligarchs.
Yeah.
It's just it's a lens into what happens when a wealthy family is allowed to do whatever they want, and it answers the question: what happens when you have billions of dollars and you're the most famous person? And the answer is you become retarded.
Whoa.
Right? they're the most soulless, unbelievably like repulsive product pushers.
Well, yeah, I mean that's sort of what's the thing about them is what they really are is sort of boring blank canvases that just like the worst elements of our like capitalist society like latch onto.
Yeah. But I also think it's like, I mean, it's not, but like, it could have been anyone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's not just like.
Well, yeah, they're part of you know, they're just trying to make some dollars like the rest of us.
Yeah. And I mean, fuck, they did. Like, they did.
Yeah. No, I mean, there is something brilliant to, like, how,
I mean, like you said, like, Kim has, I'm curious how many followers, like, they each have. Like, even I don't know.
Every moment of their lives, like...
Even the brother that's like Rob, who's not even on screen, probably has like a few million.
I used to have an Instagram page that was Rob Kardashian's #1 fan. Just like, Rob, I'm your biggest fan!
I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah. One of the things that's most disgusting about it is, like, I was watching, and it, you know, like, it's just these stupid fucking scenes of them just being like, it's good to see Chloe happy for once, like, you know?
Yeah.
And then it'll be a montage of just, like, Gucci and, like, all these products and shit. Mm-hmm. And then it'll be the birth of a child, and it'll be like, oh, this is a moment where we didn't even have a cameraman. It was on an iPhone, you know, like made to look like an iPhone. It's just like, you know, that's fucking manufactured to make you think that they're human beings when they are not.
Yeah, it's all a big advertisement.
It's disgusting. And also,
I don't know, I like the show.
people worship them, like, their bodies and their faces, like, are...
Oh, that's disgusting.
They...
It's so horrible.
They look
yeah.
gross.
I mean, they're manufactured. Like,
if I saw something
They're
like
not
that in public,
real.
I would be like, that is disgusting. Look at that.
Well, like,
well, it's, I mean,
well, like everything America does, like, it gets turned into... We should move this away from the...
You're right.
The, like, everything that, like, is sort of okay gets turned to the max till it becomes, like, this horrific thing, like, you know, they all sell makeup, and, like, makeup is cool or whatever, like, it's self-expression.
Yeah.
If there's, like, anything that makes people, like, you know, maybe feel a bit better about their day or whatever, that's cool, but there's this weird thing where, like, I don't like that it's, like, an expectation that people have to, like, paint over every blemish before they walk out of the house.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
and I think it's, I haven't looked this up in a while, but Americans spend $400 billion a year on, that might be wrong.
No.
It's something like that.
On
makeup.
in the makeup and probably the beauty industry.
Yeah. And what I don't like about it is, like, the beauty industry, a lot of, like, now, like, there's more female owners or whatever, and it's very much sold as, like, yeah, you're helping out this, like, female brand owner, but it's like, if 400 million or billion, I don't know which it is, I think it might be billion, is being spent on makeup, and it's pretty much all by women, that's literally a transfer of wealth from, like, you know, this group that you think you're helping, you know, you're helping one woman.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
like people talk about like the gender pay gap. But, like, what about the gap where like women are expected to buy like all this expensive shit that they don't need? If all like I mean I don't know. Like I think makeup looks cool and like eyeshadow's cool, but I don't know.
No, I mean, like, I've, like, worked at jobs where, like, no, you have to wear a full face of makeup.
Yeah, that's insane.
Feminism, like everything else in America, is exploited for profit.
Yeah.
I feel like. If you're not careful. Everything, every movement, nothing is sacred. Everything can be exploited for profit here. It doesn't matter.
I mean, I used to be one of those girls that, like, I would never leave the house without a full face of makeup done.
My mom used to drive us in the car, like, her 3 kids, while driving, like, putting on, like...
makeup in the mirror and she crashed.
Eyeliner.
Correct.
And we were, like, kids and, like, Mom, we're scared. Yeah. But that's, like... I mean, she's not, like, other than that, like, she's not like a crazy risk taker person at all.
Right.
But like that's society's pressure where she's like, I may kill all my children who are my whole life, but I can't look fucking ugly at this mass, like whatever we were going to, like Walmart.
Right.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I'm not gonna get this job. I'm not gonna get this job if I don't have my makeup on. You know.
Yeah. Well, luckily I got over that. No, but it's hard. I think, especially because of people like the Kardashians and just what Hollywood has glamorized. It's hard, you know, when you're especially when you're that age as a girl, as a female, or woman, female,
right.
Whatever.
I'm not saying the total. Maybe that's
and like with social media, like how social media has impacted everything. I don't know.
It says
like it
says
crazy.
American women on average spend $3,756 a year on beauty products
each.
That's the average what American women spend on beauty products.
$300 a month.
Yeah. So around $4,000 a year, $300 a month.
Yeah. I'm not gonna do that math.
Yeah. I don't know. It's wild. Don't buy crypto.
So
don't take advice from the Kardashians.
I set up a booth at First Fridays at the Mod Gallery, which is just like kind of a
this last
First Friday, which was my first time ever doing that, and it was sweet though. What?
Nothing.
The way I said that, I don't like the way I said that, and it was sweet though. Fuck! I had a
no
point
cap.
I was gonna
wait, Aaron. No cap.
No cap. What are you talking about?
Do people
That
use
shit
that in like a
bussin'?
question form? Surely they do.
Oh,
Wait, no cap.
I don't know. I have something to say
About First Fridays?
about First Friday.
In the booth.
I was in a booth.
In the booth.
I was selling my wares.
On the roof.
I was selling prints
With the
and
coupe.
shit. What the fuck was I going to say?
I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you about the experience. It was fun. It was sweet. Hang on.
What?
This is what I was going to say. Do you remember a few years ago there was a big shooting at First Fridays in Kansas City, and I think it happened maybe more than once, and it was like there was a big scare, and they were like, how are we going to keep it secure or whatever. But the unintended effect of that is like people stopped bringing their kids to First Fridays, so it's like more fun now.
Yeah.
Like it's like there's less children running around.
Yeah, it's not like families.
Right.
Yeah. Interesting.
I had a fucking blast. I was selling shit. I was selling prints. There was like people painting like in the actual studio or gallery space,
cool.
and it was it was incredible.
So you're saying all we need is some shootings and we can get a safe space for like...
I'm talking about
adults.
unintended benefits of violence.
That's funny because I've like thought about like as an adult, like you can't really go to like a public pool if you don't have kids.
I have thought about that so many times.
You can't go to a water park.
No.
I mean, water parks are kind of gross, but like,
why are there not more adult-only things?
Yeah.
Or, like, options.
It would be, or maybe it wouldn't. Maybe if you went with a big group of, like, adult friends or something, but, like...
No, I don't want to be fucking around kids swimming around me all the time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that too.
Kids stress me out.
I think... Well, also, and for, like, people, I don't know. We're going to be accommodating. We're America. We're accommodating. So it's like, why not just have, like, one day that's adults only?
Yeah, they need to have an adult day.
Yeah.
Oceans of Fun.
Yes! Like, they would make so much money. I mean, so many more people would come.
Yeah.
Even just, like, the pools here, too. Like you said. I would not go to a public pool.
Yeah. Especially, I mean...
What?
I feel like kids not being there would also make it less, like, more sanitary, maybe.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Like, you're less likely to get a Band-Aid in your mouth. I know someone that happened to, they were swimming underwater with their mouth open for some reason, and a
No!
a Band-Aid went in their mouth.
I would die.
Maybe literally. Maybe you get, like, hepatitis.
Yeah.
A fucking
The last time
Band-Aid.
I was at a pool, a fucking little girl came up to me and was like, "Can I have that?" And I was like, "What?" She was like, "That." And I thought she wanted my sunscreen. And so I gave it to her. And she's like, "No, that." And she wanted my floaty. And I was just like,
No, that.
"Huh, no."
Yeah. Yeah,
And then she called me a bitch.
Public pool kids are. There's a lot of that. Like
They're vicious.
yeah, throwing your towel in the water.
Yeah. Oh, they're vicious.
You didn't pray.
God damn it.
Better late than never. Or we could make Olivia cut it and like put it at the beginning.
No.
I'm kidding.
No. Well, we had an advertisement we had to get out. We're not gonna get sued. By that organization, by
BetterHelp.com.
pretending. You know what? I guess you can do free advertising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're free advertisers.
No, it was satire. It was satirical.
No. It was real.
Whoa!
BetterHelpNow.com.
Stop gaslighting
.org.
our audience.
No,
We don't gaslight.
there's a
and
tech.
we don't gatekeep.
Yeah.
Are you depressed and struggling to get out of bed all day? Well, guess what? Now you don't have to. You can stay in your bed forever and just do therapy from your bed.
And work from home.
And then
Cerner.
yeah, and just work from home.
Medical billing and coding.
Stay in that bed as soon as your shift ends. You don't even have to drive anywhere. You don't even have to go out into the sun and breathe in fresh air. You can just
wrap up this ad so I can do mine.
you
No.
you can just get on Zoom and just like scream at this random therapist they pair you with, and then just stay in your bed. Yeah,
Sorry.
check it out, guys.
Bella. Say something. Speak.
All right. Hey, what's up, folks? This is Aaron Scarborough with a very important message from the Daily Wire. Did you know that for the small price of $25 a month, I don't know what they charge, you can have access to Ben Shapiro, Jordan Peterson, Candace Owens' new OnlyFans. Who else is?
Matt Walsh.
PragerU, Matt Walsh, and such films as.
Do I get Tommy Lauren? Is she on there?
Is she a part of it?
I don't know.
What's up, folks? This is Aaron Scarborough with an important message from The Blaze.
Well, she got booted from the Blaze because she she came out as pro-choice, and they're like, "Get the
Wait,
fuck out!"
what? She did?
Yeah. Wait, Aaron, put the mic back. Tommy Lauren. Yeah. She was the it girl, like fascist Barbie.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what preempted this, but she was like, "Yeah, I'm a conservative, but I think women should have the right to choose." And they're like, "You're fucking fired!" Like, immediately. But, I mean, of course the right doesn't actually respect
women.
Freedom of thought or whatever.
Yeah. Damn.
But that's why...
So what's she doing now?
That's why Candace Owens, you're not going to see her slip. She knows her place. If Candace... You know what? Candace Owens, if you're watching this... Just test my theory. Let's see if you really have freedom and you're not a slave. Just come out in any way a little bit to the left of where you are now. You know what? Candace Owens could still be pro-life or whatever and just like in favor of rape victims carrying babies. She should just say like, you know what? I've been thinking about it. Maybe I will respect non-binary people's pronouns. Mm-hmm. You'll be done, Candace. Test it out if you don't believe me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You will be the victim of cancel culture.
Yeah, all of a sudden, and well, I mean, she'll do a 180. She'll be like.
Care about hate these fucking Jews.
Do you know her about Candace Owens' history?
No.
Yeah, she was before 2016. She was
in 2016.
Liberal.
Yeah.
What?
Well, this is the thing. People, their criticism of Candace Owens tends to be like. She's a fascist, she's extreme, she's racist, or whatever. But the truth is, she's pretending to be those things for money.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, what Candace really wants is to not get a job.
Same.
Same. And like, that's sort of been the story of her whole life. Like, when she was in high school, apparently, like, some kids, like, called her and, like, said a bunch of racial slurs at her, and it was, like, the son of the governor in Connecticut, which isn't good. I don't like that.
No.
And, so she was, like, represented by the NAACP, and she got, like, a $40,000 settlement, or whatever.
Yeah.
So now her take on that is those kids were the victims, and I mean I'm not sure what her reasoning behind that is, but like those kids were the victims, and they were just kids, and they didn't know any better. And the funny thing is Candace never returned that $40,000, and she hates the NAACP, but like. I don't know. Candace, maybe give that money back if it's blood money or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but then after that, she, and this was like near 2016, she built a website, to like, is basically a website that was going to like document like bullying online. Mm-hmm. So like, and I guess it was inspired by these kids that called her something racist or whatever. So like she was going to document bullies online, like almost like a sex offender registry, but for like social media, which not only is a really bad idea because like the Wayback Machine already exists, but also it's like basically like you're doxing children and like publishing their like mistakes they made.
Yeah,
horrifying idea. And then like a month later, she was like, no, yeah, I like Trump, and I think liberals are evil, and I've changed my opinion about everything completely. So
yeah, she decided like I can make more money with this.
Not.
Yeah. So
That's wild. See, I didn't know that.
That's where like that to bring it back to our friend Christian Walker. He's like kind of doing something very noble right now, which is just like being a whistleblower against his dad, showing the hypocrisy. Yeah. He's like a little fucking hero. Why is at the moment?
And he's getting a backlash.
Like his dad?
I mean, I think it's like his dad or whatever, but he appeared in one campaign ad at the beginning because he was sort of told that like his dad was going to get ahead of his past and be like, listen, I've changed, but then his dad never did that and is like just denied that it ever happened.
But he's probably also.
But his dad was like horrible to his mom. And
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
I'm sure it's
It
complex.
would be interesting if Christian Walker.
Is he still with the mom?
No.
Okay.
No.
Wouldn't it be interesting if Christian at this point like kind of pivoted to the left or something? I don't think that he will. I don't think that Christian Walker believes his bullshit, honestly. Like, really? Like, he might...
A lot of what
I don't know.
A lot of what
I
Christian
think it's an
Walker.
act.
Yeah, I mean, he hams it up for sure. I mean, why is he screaming in a drive-through at Starbucks? Like, I mean,
Why not?
if that's what he's doing, you know, unobserved, that's very weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, like a lot of Christian's views that he probably does sincerely hold, are just like very misplaced. Like,
Yeah.
he's like big about fatherless homes because his dad was like, I guess, an absent father and abusive. But like,
Damn.
well, doesn't it kind of like make you question that you have the same political views as that same guy?
Yeah.
Like maybe the ideology of fatherless home or like the talking point isn't the solution.
Right.
Otherwise it would have worked for your family. But also like he has points where he's like, I don't want to fuck 1,000 dudes and like I don't want to be polyamorous and it's a thing like he's like talking about like gay men that like are like go to circuit parties and you know,
Right.
whatever, promiscuous or whatnot, and no one would shame him for wanting to be monogamous. Like,
Yeah.
literally no one would. So he's like acting like he's a maverick for like a very normal thing.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm just like, dude, it is 2022. Who the fuck cares what anyone does
Yeah.
in their sexual life? Like,
Well, yeah, it's very weird for him to have a chip on his shoulder about
Well,
like
even
other people.
conservatives like have had to adapt to liberalism winning in that sense. Like as far as personal
Yeah.
issues like that, and they can't outright. Like even my parents like wouldn't be like, no, we don't hate gay people, and I've even talked to them like, would you let your kid like have a gay teacher or whatever, and they're like, well,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, okay, but
our
one step at a
teachers
time.
get railed.
Yeah.
Oh my.
They've had their fucking brains poisoned. Like they didn't come up with that on their own. You know, that's poison that's been pumped into their fucking brain through religious institutions and right-wing media.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's so it's really asymmetrical warfare because I don't know, it's like as shitty as like the liberal media establishment is, they do try to like have some sort of, they don't do it in a way that like questions like, you know, their fundraisers and things like this, but they do question like after the 2016 election, like liberal media was sort of like, well, maybe we are overlooking something. Of course, they didn't find the right answer because that would sort of undermine their whole thing. Mm-hmm. But the right wing doesn't do that at all. Like I was saying, like Candace Owens could not come out. She has to find the furthest right position possible. That's why she's like defended Hitler. Have you guys seen that?
No.
She
Oh
testified.
my God, I thought you were gonna choke.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Me choke? I don't choke.
Candace Owens testified in front of Congress, and she was like, about, like, she said, like, Hitler wasn't that bad, and she was just like, yeah, I mean, his foreign policy was bad, but, like, domestic policy, like, he didn't do anything wrong there. And, I don't know if anyone listening, just, like, maybe take a second and think, is there some of Hitler's domestic policy that might have been a little bit of...
A little dodgy.
A little problematic, you could say.
Just a hint.
So, that's what you gotta do. Like, if you're a white guy, you know, like, Chris Wallace or something, you can be a conservative and be like, listen, I'm not a fucking radical, but if you're a woman, or especially a black woman, you have to just go hard as possible or they will kick you out.
Yeah.
That's like Tommy Lauren. Like, she was fine when she was going on rants of like, Beyonce, your husband was a drug dealer. They loved her then, but like she like had one single opinion that like didn't toe the line, and she was done.
Yeah, you can't because in their mind they're like, well, we have a person who sympathizes with murderers, like.
Dude, Tommy Lauren, like, that's such a funny, like, like, attack as well, like, on Jay-Z, like, he was a drug dealer, like, half of his songs are about that, like,
right.
We're just making him seem
People
cooler.
Hove.
Yeah, like, that's literally what the appeal was, like, rags to riches, like, drug dealer to CEO.
Yeah, like what?
Tommy Lauren is just like, she thinks she's like, I fucking owned him, and she's just doing like Jay-Z PR. Fucking Tommy. Right after she got fired, she started, because her rants were called Final Thoughts.
Did she change them to First Thought?
Well, final Thoughts always reminded me of like Final Solution. Like, it has an ominous sound, but she started doing her final thoughts from her car with like a cell phone.
Oh,
Like literally in her Toyota.
Oh
And she was
God.
like, here's my final thoughts about Beyonce's 2016 Super Bowl performance. It was the worst thing ever. That's like every like political, like right wing political.
Yeah,
like,
it's all just like, no.
they're like, The Weeknd had a concert and it was, it's the end of society as we know it. That's it. We're all gonna die now.
oh, that girl.
Your husband was a drug dealer.
Yeah.
Well, I just
That's
want
journalism. That's actually, that's right-wing journalism.
to all the drug dealers out there, I just want to say thank you for your service, and we love you, and we are keeping you in our hearts.
Is that
Thank you. I
is that a
appreciate
prayer?
that.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Support
Olivia's
your
been-
locals, you know.
Olivia's been decorating the porch with various gourds and squashes and pumpkins.
It's fall time, bitches.
Hell yeah, bitches! Our
Yeah.
next episode's
I love
gonna
it.
be called Fall Bitches.
Ooh, yeah.
We're gonna go.
It's
We need to
Taylor
wear like
season.
Halloween Why haven't
Taylor's
we
a
been?
big fall girl?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Why haven't we been wearing Halloween costumes this month?
That's a good point. What day is Halloween on? Isn't it like a Monday?
Let's
Yes,
look it up, shall
I actually
we?
want to have a Halloween party.
Yeah.
What are you guys? What are you doing?
I'm not sure. Well,
It's on a Monday.
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna go to a party on Monday.
Okay,
if I'm being
well-
honest, but,
Oh, your brother's wedding is on the 29th.
Ugh. If you're listening and you know me, don't get fucking married.
wait, your
Or if
brother's
you
getting
do,
married?
Just don't invite me. Like, I am busy.
Your brother's getting married?
Yeah.
What about when we get married?
Well, you have to go to your brother's. wedding.
He already had a child.
Really?
Out of wedlock.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm the black sheep. Out of wedlock. A bastard child.
Stop! Jesus,
Isaac the bastard. That's kind of cool.
Aaron is gonna be on the internet forever on Candace Owens' website.
My family doesn't support me, so they will never hear this.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, your nephew will, or nephew or niece.
nephew Isaac,
Yeah,
the bastard.
When he becomes like a communist, like wolf kid, who wears a tail, he will discover this.
A communist wolf kid who wears a tail.
I mean, that is like the next generation. You know?
That is the next, and they wear sunglasses like that.
Yeah. No, this is more of like aging boomer.
Is it?
I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's like a parody of that. I think that those are parody.
Oh, when I
lines.
do it, yeah.
No, I think that they're meant to be parody. Like, right? It's just like, it's a joke.
I mean, I certainly bought it. Like, it's very ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look like Cyclops from...
Yeah.
X-Men.
Yep. Well, you were mentioning the fall theme Taylor season.
Yeah.
The ultimate...
Swiftie?
The ultimate basic...
It's a good time for
Ultimate basic
Evermore,
bitch.
Yeah.
You know...
Well, yeah, I mean, I would love nothing more than to turn this into a, just a Swiftie
Let's go.
podcast.
Let's go. Whatever is going to get the clicks.
We could do a reaction video and listen
Well-
to the album live.
Oh.
Though
Whole album.
I'm going to be praising it. I can tell you, but my reaction will be very sycophantic. No matter what it sounds like. And then later I'll be like, oh.
Yeah.
No, I think it's going to be good.
Yeah.
I think I agree.
I didn't know she was coming out with an album.
Yeah, called Midnights.
Is it new or?
Yeah, it's not
Midnights?
a re-recording.
Okay.
It's it's called Midnights, and it's 13 songs they're about like 13 midnights throughout her life where she was like had insomnia and was like awake.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Cool.
I don't know. I guess a concept album, I guess you could say. But yeah, Dr. Taylor Swift. You know she's a doctor now.
What
Is
what,
she?
Yeah, she got an honorary doctorate from NYU, I think.
Oh yeah, I think
well
I did see
deserved.
that.
Well deserved.
I mean, I'd say so.
Wait,
My
That's
Did she
what happens
go
when
to-
you work hard.
Did she go to school there?
no. So an honorary doctorate
Yeah,
is
what's
like
that?
someone like, let's say they're like a film school, or I guess any university could say like this person was a painter and they like had excellence in their craft, so they give them an honorary doctorate.
Oh.
I mean, and honestly, a lot of it is like, could we get fucking Taylor Swift to give the commencement speech?
Yeah.
yeah.
Which they did. My husband has a PhD, which he was starting right when I met him, and it was a horrible, like, just a painful process. I don't recommend it. So by the end of it, it was sort of like, I hate this school, like.
Yeah.
You know, it was sort of anticlimactic, but Taylor Swift getting the doctorate, I was stoked for it, and he got so jealous. He was like, "It's not real." Like he's like, "It's supposed to mean something," and like he came home from work, and I was just like, "Period, bitch." Taylor was like, "You're gonna go out into the world." And you're going to be met with difficulties. And I was just like, yes! Doctor! So
Okay. Love it.
and she was like working her album titles into into the commencement speech. She was like, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling class of 2022. Which is like, very on brand, hokey.
Marketing. She always be closing.
She always be closing, yeah.
She's always making a sale. She's the king, the queen
Well, yeah, I've always said she's
of sales.
she's in my opinion the greatest businesswoman of all
Has
time.
she made a B?
And
Is she up to $1 billion? Like, is she a billionaire?
no, I don't think so, because you got to have a brand.
She
know?
will be though, right?
No, I mean maybe not. Like to make $1 billion, you have to have like a fuckload of employees. You know what I mean? Like and sell
Let's
products.
see what her net worth is. Okay, she's worth 400 mil.
Yeah,
So she's how old?
I mean, she's-
32.
I would say
She
that's
gets her salary is $150 million a year.
She might launch a brand. She might do some network shit. Like I bet she'll die.
Well, yeah, I mean,
with
if she
billions.
launched a brand, like if she came out with makeup, though I'm glad she's
I
not,
hope
like,
she doesn't.
We don't need another
Dude,
lingerie line,
that's
whatever.
the thing, and like all those makeup companies, they're all using the same fucking lab and the same products. It's just different packaging.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Well, it just bums me out. Like, I like Rihanna a lot, and it's just like, I think she just has a talent for performing, and
Yeah.
it's just like you decided to make, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, underwear instead.
Yeah.
And her underwear, I don't know if you looked at it, like, it kind of looks like the underwear they sell at Cirilla's to me. Like,
I've looked at some of it.
I don't know.
And I'm like, yeah. Yeah.
I just think, like, she makes such good music and
Yeah.
such fun music. And then, like, why not?
She's
just
an
do more of that?
entrepreneur.
I mean, that's how she became a billionaire, but
Yeah. I'm good.
apparently her 8th album has been done for, like, 3 years. She's just,
Why is she sleeping
sitting
on
on
it?
because she's just making money, off other stuff.
Yeah.
She wants to launch, like, a cookbook or something.
Oh, like
Rihanna cookbook?
like Chrissy Teigen.
I didn't know she had one.
Should we check in on Teigen?
I'm going to Amazon right now to buy the Chrissy Teigen cookbook.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what?
Target.
I really don't know
It's
much.
Target.
I don't know much about Chrissy Teigen. I know she's like a lightning rod for Twitter.
Right. It's with a K or a C.
I think
I think it's a C.
a C. Yeah.
There.
All right. What you been up to, Chrissy? But she got she got canceled for bullying, right?
Yeah, she told someone to. She like DM'd someone to kill themselves.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Chrissy Teigen reveals she had an abortion to save my life for a baby that had absolutely no chance. That was 4 weeks ago.
Oh yeah. No, that was really sad.
Well, she's
didn't
probably
hear
talking
that.
about like in the past or something.
Yeah.
Ted
she
Cruz, here, this says, Ted Cruz says Chrissy Teigen had a miscarriage, not an abortion, as she says.
Well, they're the same thing.
Yeah.
That's who we should be looking at. What's Ted Cruz doing? That's who you want to watch before a midterm.
See, I like. Is it okay to like her?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like her. Like, I don't mind her.
Oh, I thought she sucked.
I think
Does she?
I think it's cool to like whoever you want.
I think John Lennon's pretty cool. I don't know. They have a good relationship.
I thought you were gonna
It's
say
cute.
John Legend's hot, and I was gonna say
Have you ever-
I
no.
agree.
Have you ever
Really?
heard
Oh,
of,
I don't think he's. No, I don't think he's cute.
Well, he has sort of an odd face, but
Yeah, he has a beautiful voice.
oh yeah.
So I was at a show in Omaha, and I was smoking weed after the show with like some
John
of the
Legend.
restaurant staff and some audience members. And there were these like sorority looking ladies that it looks like they were in sororities 10 years ago.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
Just chuggy, like blonde, like lots of makeup, like fake looking, whatever. And they just kept saying things that I was just like, I wish I was recording this. Like, this is the epitome of like just vapid, like the specific type of just not interesting Midwestern.
What were they saying?
Things like I was like, we were all smoking a joint or whatever. I was like, yeah, I went with my girlfriend to go see Pusha T last night. And they were like, get out of here. Last week, Alicia Keys. 3 rows up. And then this other one chimes in and she goes, ew, I hate Alicia Keys. I was like, I wish I could capture this, like, and have a soundboard, you know, for the show. Like, ew, I hate Alicia Keys. Like, or last week, Alicia Keys. 3 rows up.
Yeah, what's so funny about that to me is, like, it's so funny to have, like, a strong, visceral reaction to Alicia Keys.
Yeah.
Like, maybe, like, being super stoked to see her in, like, 2005.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But also, like, who hates Alicia Keys?
Right.
That's sort of like saying, like, oh, I hate Dolly Parton or something. You know?
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
what?
Why?
Okay,
Yeah.
pick me.
They also, another thing that I remember them saying was, they were talking to me and my buddy Curtis, and they were like, you know who you guys should open for? Kevin Hart. Like, you know, just like sincerely like advising us, like, hey, I've been thinking what you could do for your career is open for Kevin Hart. Have you thought about that? You know?
You should
What did you
ask him.
respond?
Yeah. Like, what do you
We
say?
just laughed. Like, how do you respond to that shit?
Yeah, okay, hook me up.
Yeah.
I'll let you know when I do.
Yeah.
I would've
Also,
just said,
like,
actually,
we're
you
poor
did.
comedians and shit, and they were like, oh my god, you guys are driving back, like, you know, like, and they were like, why don't you just get a hotel, like, and it was just like, I'm overdrafted, you know, like, fuck you, I don't have hotel money.
The Kevin Hart thing is so funny. It's like telling an unsigned, like, musician, like, you know what you should do? Go on tour with Beyonce.
Yeah.
Did that, like, why haven't you thought of that? Did you guys hear about the Miss USA scandal?
No.
Right.
Oh my god.
What?
So, Miss USA. Well, should we do a breakdown of the pageant?
Can I have a
it's
beer?
still running. We're still going. You want a beer?
Yes, please.
I got you. You want an NA beer?
No. So we should do maybe a rundown of the pageant world. So there's Miss America, and that's sort of like the more prestigious one, I suppose.
Okay.
Though they're all pretty dumb. And then there's Miss USA, famously owned by Trump, I guess, for a bit. And Miss USA is sort of more emphasizes the swimsuit section, and unlike Miss America, they don't have a talent portion.
Okay.
So they're like, you don't even have to.
You just gotta look.
You don't even have to have a skill. Just like, show us your body, girl.
Right.
And it's so funny. I guess there's like, I was watching Real Housewives of Potomac, and one of the girls was Miss United States, and I didn't even pick up on this first. I just thought like, oh, Miss USA.
Yeah.
But apparently, there's another organization called Miss United States. And in the show, she was like, yeah, when you're like a well-known public figure, you gotta have security, and like all the other people on the show, like, were like holding back laughter, like, what the fuck are you talking about? So Miss United States, like, I thought that was just like a fictional pageant for Miss Congeniality, the movie. But apparently it's a thing too.
No shit.
But anyway, the scandal is about Miss United States. And I guess the scandal is the one who won, they think she was picked ahead of time and was working with, like, one of the judges was like helping her with her hair and makeup. So it's a big deal.
That's so there might have been collusion.
There was collusion, alleged collusion.
Bring back collusion.
Rigged election in the Miss USA.
Damn them! I demand justice.
Is there? Do you think that people are anyone's still on like that? There's some RussiaGate guy out there who's just like, I've almost cracked RussiaGate.
That whenever the next Robert Mueller debate,
Yeah.
Robert Mueller report,
Yeah.
when the rest of that comes out,
dropped,
he's done.
When the new Mueller drop, yeah.
The new fucking Mueller report.
Yeah.
The Mueller.
I don't know where those people landed on Comey. Like, do they hate Comey?
They probably hate him, but they probably bought his book because they're stupid.
Dude, I watched.
No offense.
I watched some of that. What is it? The Comey Rule or something. It was like a limited series on Showtime, I believe.
Oh God, I never heard of
And
this.
it was with what's his name? Dumb and Dumber, not Jim Carrey.
Jeffrey?
Jeff Daniels.
Yeah.
Is that his name? He played Comey. And
He looks
it's
nothing
terrible.
like him.
It's so shitty. Like they it's clearly like I feel like it's very clearly like Hillary, like pro Hillary bullshit. Because like on Comey's team, like there's like this mean bitch character who's like supposed to be unlikable and whatever, and she hates like Hillary and has it out for Hillary, and that's why she wants to investigate. And she's like all offensive and says retard and shit, you know. It like kind of makes her. Yeah, she's supposed to be me. Which, if I were at the FBI, I would also be like, yeah, let's investigate Hill Dog.
Yeah, same.
Let's get her the fuck out of politics.
Yeah, the Mueller report people.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we can get them and the QAnon people to team up and get to the bottom of Miss USA.
Yeah?
We could have a
that's how we're
January
gonna have
6th moment with the
Right.
Miss USA. No, what's so funny about that, though, is, like, it was rigged, is it's literally just about, like, who's the hottest girl.
Right.
Like, who's most fuckable. So, like, the conspiracy is, like, she was not the hottest.
Right.
There was hotter girls.
Yeah.
Miss Louisiana?
Yeah.
She was...
So it's purely
fucking hate
physical? Like,
Yeah.
Well,
it's
Miss
no talent?
Miss America has a talent section. Miss USA is, like, all swimsuit. And, like, Trump owned it for a while. Like,
Is that the one where he famously just, like, would go walk through the dressing room?
yes, yeah.
And people hear that
Yeah.
and they're like, well, he's a moral man. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
He's a good Christian. There's a lot of Christians who think he is a Christian.
Well, that's the thing. Like, the pageant world is really sort of, that's their group, you know? Like,
Yeah.
because I don't know who watches pageants. Like, I don't know anyone.
Do young.
I think it's, like, religious people.
Yeah.
Because it's, like, a format where they can watch, like, half-naked women, but it's, like, under the guise of, like, this is an institution.
What was Trump was like out like posing for photos
weird.
with a Bible. Do you remember that? And a bunch of protesters
He had it, like, upside
came out
down
and
or
he
something.
he like ordered like tear gas on a bunch of protesters while he was like posing with the Bible.
And he was, like, holding it upside down or something like this. What was that about? What was that thing about? The Bible stunt.
I don't know what he was doing, but it was clearly just... I mean, at various times, he's been forced to just be like, yeah, I like church, you know? I like church good. I love the Bible. I like a lot of verses. You know, and you remember that when the reporter was like, could you tell me your favorite verse? And he's like, I couldn't pick one.
Yeah. Yeah. Oddly reminiscent of, like, Sarah Palin's, like, what do you... Katie Couric was like, what's some of the new... Like, when you were preparing for your... It wasn't a gotcha. Like, she wasn't
Right.
trying to trap her.
Right.
She was just like, so, like, what kind of... Like, media do you consume? Like, what newspapers? And Sarah Palin was like, all of them? Any of them? All of them? And, like, Sarah Palin was, like, pissed. Like, how dare she put me on the spot? She's like, she just asked you what you fucking read. Like,
Right.
you could have just said, like... You could have just, like... She literally could have just said, like, I read the New York Times because I want to know what, like, the mainstream thinks or something.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
like, that would have... I mean, that's something you would get from, like, a clever Ann Coulter. But
Right.
Sarah Palin does not. She's like, what do I read? Classic moment.
Yeah. She's like,
Ann
fuck, they got me.
well, all these, like, right-wing people, like Tommy Law, Candace Owens, like, they're all just knockoffs of Ann Coulter, and, like, no one can do it as bad and dirty and just good as Ann. She's so fucking good.
Yeah.
She's so funny, and I mean, I don't like that she's evil.
Yeah. No, but she is funny.
She's so fucking, like, in the I was watching the impeachment show, and in the show, like, she was on the legal team in the Paula Jones case.
Right.
Paula Jones was one of the Bill Clinton's accusers, but she was, like, from Arkansas, wasn't well spoken and, like, nervous, right? didn't have media training. She gave like a really bad press conference about what Bill Clinton, when he pulled his thing out in the hotel room. And they're watching her press conference, and Ann Coulter's character is like, I feel like I just watched the Challenger explode. Dude, and that's exactly, like, Ann Coulter is just, like, always, like, if you watch her interviews, she's just throwing out, like, these golden lines. Like, she really should have been a comic, but instead of, like...
Yeah. You want to watch some Coulter? Let's watch a little Ann Coulter.
Dude, you remember when she, like, went to war with single moms?
Vaguely.
Dude, yeah, she was like, she went in on single moms. Wait. I want to
get in there.
It's a good one.
I'm gonna make sure we're still rolling. Yeah, we're still rolling.
She's on Father Albert, which is like I think like a Dr. Phil, but it's like a Catholic priest. So, let's pick this up.
Like that?
What?
No. It gets the front.
Best-selling author Ann Coulter. Her new book is entitled Demonic. Ann said some outrageous comments about single mothers. And Ann, I really want to welcome you, but I don't get this about the single mothers. They should give up their kids for adoption.
Oh, definitely. That's what the statistics are. I mean, not once they're 14, but a woman who gets pregnant out of wedlock, if she wants to do the best thing for the child, it is overwhelming. She should give the child up for adoption. The statistics, both from the left and the right, are overwhelming on what happens to illegitimate children. About 70% of juvenile delinquents, teenage runaways, pregnancies out of wedlock are committed by the children of single mothers. If you're in the womb right now and you can choose whether to be...
So, people can't see this, but in this video, the audience is just filled with single mothers. And they're just like, staring daggers.
Fuck?
But this is what I love about Anne is, like, she could have wrote a book and, like, made a sincere point about how, like, it's better for children to have two parents or whatever. And, like, she could have analyzed, like, is there maybe an issue with our economic system where both parents are forced to work to support a household or, something like that. But instead she named the book Demonic. Implying, like, single moms raise demonic children.
Yeah.
she can't help herself but just be the worst.
Black, white, rich, poor. The one thing you should hope for as a child in the womb is my parents are married.
Emotional strength to a child. What I don't get, though, is that we're singling out the single mothers from these
Right.
but we're not talking about these absent fathers.
Well,
Where are these absent guys? I mean, these moms are doing a heroic job. I mean, they're out there, they're working sometimes 2 jobs, they're getting their kids through school, they're feeding them, and the dads are nowhere around.
no one's celebrating them either. I am responding to a culture out of Hollywood, the courts, the elite media that is promoting single motherhood. They are not promoting single fatherhood or deadbeat dads.
What do you say to women who say, you are demonizing single moms?
All I'm doing is citing statistics.
It's so funny, like, you're demonizing single moms like she named her book Demonic. Like, it's not even a question, that's what she's doing. But that's fucking Anne, always, Ann Coulter Thug Life compilation.
Oh my god.
It's just gonna be like a collection of just her saying, like, the most racist things you've ever heard in your life. Probably.
Yeah. Wait, was there a Comedy Central roast of Ann Coulter?
No, so she was in, I think it was the roast of Rob Lowe.
Oh, right.
I think he's, like, sort of
Fraser said, the only person you'll ever make happy is the Mexican who digs your grave.
Yeah. Yeah, there was so many good Ann Coulter, like, jokes, like, without Fuhrer, dude.
Yeah.
God damn it, Ann.
Yeah, she,
but what's
there without her, she walked so Ben Shapiro could run, really. Like, she as far as just being like a quick-witted, like fucking, like whatever.
Yeah.
She is. I mean, she's got more balls than Ben Shapiro for sure.
Yeah.
Me too.
Well, I also think, I mean, I don't know. There's an entertainment value to Ann Coulter that, like, Ben Shapiro doesn't really have, in my opinion.
Right.
And, like, a Tommy Lauren doesn't, because they're kind of more just, like, you don't laugh, really.
Yeah.
Right.
Most of the time. Like, they're just kind of annoying. Like, can we put them outside?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fucked up.
We need, come back, Ann. I think she's, like, big anti-Trump now.
Yeah.
She's like, she's like, he could have built that wall.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, for the entirely wrong reasons. She's like, he didn't lock up enough kids.
Right.
We need to port the single mothers kids too.
Yeah, everyone else is like, no, Trump's not a fascist, and she's like, Trump wasn't a fascist. You know?
Yeah. Well, she
just
like
a slight different.
she famously said, though I think she had recently or a few years back she tried to do like a sort of like protectionist, isolationist, like we need less wars. But during the Bush years, she was the biggest war hawk
well,
ever.
that one was yeah. I mean, that was they were into the racist aspect of that.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, she like one of her quotes was like, "We need to like invade the Middle East, like kill all their leaders, and like force them to convert to Christianity or something like this." Like, she's basically just like, we need war crimes and like force them to be Christians.
Yeah, it should be the United World of America.
Oh my gosh.
Like even someone as like horrible as Dick Cheney was like,
those
democracy.
people are fucking like pro-imperialism, and they all talk about like they're terrified of a one world government at the same time.
Yeah,
like unless we are the fucking globalists.
Which it doesn't look like we're going to be for much longer.
Nope. Our chickens are coming home to roost.
Oh yeah, if you're watching this, it means nuclear war hasn't broken out yet.
Yes.
But I just wanted to remind our viewers that it's closer than you think.
Indeed.
So,
yeah, those comforting thoughts of, the world is run by, like, somewhat rational elites, but irrational elites that don't want destruction. That's kind of an old way of thinking.
Trump
would, I do think that Trump is enough of a fuck the world type of guy.
Yeah.
That he would
That
be
would be
extremely
terrifying.
reckless with,
That would be terrifying.
with nuclear war.
Yeah, with like Ukraine. Well, that's the problem with the Russiagate thing. Is it sold this idea that like Trump was doing Putin's bidding the whole time and was a puppet, but actually Trump was like mobilizing NATO troops on the Ukrainian border, and,
Right.
like really not doing any favors for Putin.
Sure.
So it'd probably be worse if he was still president. I don't know. It's just a scary thought that, like, really, because it's not even really in the president's hands at this point. Like, because if Putin nukes Ukraine, are we gonna like not do anything? Like, that doesn't seem likely. And Putin seems to be getting pretty close to that, because Ukraine is sort of like, they're not giving up, and they're, not afraid to use some, questionable tactics to achieve their ends.
Right.
Which would, I guess, is fine in like a war in general, but
Wait, like what? I missed this.
there was like a bridge that got blown up with civilians on it.
Okay.
And we don't know for sure who did it, but probably Zelensky's guys. But like since Russia does have more nuclear weapons than anyone else, like, and they're in direct war with them, like if Ukraine is like way too crazy and Putin gets back into a corner, he might use nukes against them, which means we're all going to die. And, you know, I sympathize with the Ukrainian people, but I don't think we should have a nuclear war over, like, this, like, sliver of land in eastern Ukraine. Like, the Donbass region.
Right.
We might all die for the Donbass region. Mm-hmm. That's not to minimize the plight of the Ukrainian people, but it sounds like a shithole anyway. I just had an Ann Coulter moment.
Yeah. You let fascism into your heart.
But I mean, and if you're comparing to like who controls Donbass to like we all slowly die from radiation poisoning and our fingernails and teeth fall off and like our skin turns black and starts sloughing off, like
right,
is the Donbass worth it? What do you think?
I think
I'm gonna have to say
I think that Zelensky is the most heroic world leader of our generation.
Yeah.
And whatever he wants, be it drones or nukes or no-fly zones, whatever he needs, I support.
Dude, your average like American really thinks a no-fly zone is like a no-smoking zone.
Yeah.
Goddamn. Yeah. Well, we'll see. Are you guys familiar with we can wrap up, but like what happens when like acute radiation poisoning?
no.
So the HBO show Chernobyl is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, I've watched some of that. That's really good.
Yeah, if you're listening to this, you're at the end of the podcast, go watch Chernobyl right now. But there's like the firefighters that helped put out Chernobyl like were like right next to, you know, this like radioactive plutonium or whatever. And dude, they like the way they died is and like if you get like a lot of radiation exposure, they got like super sick, were on the verge of death, and then like you kind of get better for a minute. I'm not sure why. You start to recover and start to feel better, and then it like quickly declines, and like all their skin turned like charcoal color.
Yeah.
And was like falling off, and because like your cells are literally like breaking apart, or your body's breaking apart at like the DNA level, like DNA strands are like unraveling like proteins from the radiation.
You're just like disintegrating.
You're disintegrating. So because of that, they can't give you painkillers because like the if you put a needle in it, the blood vessel will just sort of like rot, like disappear.
Oh,
so fuck. Like you just go through all this without any medicine at the end, like
Jesus Christ.
You just have the most painful death, and you can't even like get some like opiates to help. So on that note,
yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna say a prayer tonight.
Maybe it's good we saved our prayer for the end of the episode.
Yeah. It almost makes me wish that we didn't put Putin in there. Almost makes me wish. It almost makes me miss the Soviet Union. Just kidding. Just kidding,
guys.
I'd never, sympathize with any sort of communist government. Any communist authoritarian regime.
Well, do you think Putin is like... I mean, I guess the Soviet Union wasn't really... I mean, it wasn't like a good execution of communism, obviously. But, like, do you think, like, people say, like, Putin wants to reestablish the Soviet Union?
I don't think that... I think that Putin... he... As far as I know, like, he seems like he has fond memories of the Soviet Union, and he's loyal to the Soviet Union. But I don't think that he's a Marxist or
Yeah.
you know it's not about that. It's all about power and nationalism. And I don't think that he cares about his own people either.
Yeah,
I think that it's
no.
an ego thing, and he just likes the state. Like he likes
Like, to what
running the
extent
state.
does he not, like, you know, like Stalin was an absolute dictator. Like, is Putin not that currently?
Oh, as far as I know, he is an absolute dictator. It's in any sort of elections or what. It's all kind of a facade.
Yeah.
He calls all the fucking shots.
Yeah.
They might have some, you know. I think they have parliamentary processes, but it's like it's a joke.
Yeah, like he had like his friend like be president for 4 years.
Yeah.
And then he came right back.
Yeah. He persecutes journalists. Good thing we don't do that. Hey, what's up with Julian?
Yeah.
He has people assassinated. Good thing we don't do that.
Yeah, none of our allies do.
None of our allies. Good thing the British don't do that anymore.
It's a good thing the Saudis don't do that.
My dad sent me a video of Jordan Peterson's new daily. It was a clip from his new Daily Wire show, and he's talking to this this African lady about how colonialism didn't cause poverty for Africa. That was the message she was giving, and my dad was like, I would love to see how you could disprove this lady. And I was like, okay. And so I looked her up, and first of all, her credentials were she's an entrepreneur. And then it was also like, yeah, hang on. Jordan's. Oh, were we gonna watch a crying video?
I was just wondering if it existed. We don't have to.
Go to. Can you type for me? Go to. Type in Jordan Peterson, Africa.
Jordan Peterson colonialism?
Yeah. Colonialism. Yeah, that one.
Well, I guess, like, before we even watch this, why didn't America like being a colony?
Right? Isn't that a good point?
Like, shouldn't that be enough?
Right.
But what do I know?
Anyway, this lady, before we watch, just a little background, I looked this lady up. She's a quote-unquote entrepreneur, and she works for a religious right-wing like conservative think tank and who is active in Africa.
Yeah.
And their whole thing is like basically converting African nations to religious right-wing pro-capitalist shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, she has a lip balm company. That's her.
Yeah.
And this is her explaining colonialism.
Well,
and how it wasn't that bad.
Can I, because, like, Africa has, like, a pretty large population. I think 400 million people.
Right.
And it's one of the most, resource-rich places on the entire Earth.
Right.
So, like, what is her reasoning why Africa's poor?
Watch.
Okay.
You list here in one of your articles where you make reference to these rating systems, the bottom 10 countries for doing business in the world: Chad, Haiti, Central African Republic, Congo, Democratic Republic, South Sudan, Libya, Yemen, Venezuela, there's a lovely example, Eritrea, and Somalia. And so there are 3 exceptions in the African ecosystem.
Yeah.
Mauritius, Rwanda, Kenya, South Africa, Botswana, and Zambia. You pointed out in your prospectus, is it prospectus article?
Yeah, prospectus article of
Right.
Arbitrage Institute.
Right. That Mauritius is a rising star, and Rwanda is in some ways comparable to Georgia. So some of these countries have started to get this right.
Yes.
And so what's the consequence of that? And what does right mean?
What they have understood, what these countries have understood, is that economic freedom is at the center for prosperity building. Rwanda, for example, Paul Kagame, the president of Rwanda, is explicit about it. He said he wants to be the Lee Kuan Yew he wants to be the Singapore of Africa, and Lee Kuan Yew.
All right, I'm gonna stop it right there.
Yeah.
The president that she's talking about, I looked him up, and he is a dictator, like a guy who, and a man who, like, in order to get into power, had a bunch of people assassinated.
Yeah.
He's like a thug, but he's a fucking pro-capitalist, like pro-America thug. It's a tale as old as time in any country that we can possibly meddle in, where there's a leftist movement. We annihilate it, and we push a guy like that in.
Yeah.
Ronald Reagan said really nice things about Pinochet, and that was the same type of thing.
Well, so what is her central thesis, like these countries that were colonies are doing well, and these countries that...
She's saying the ones that are doing free market capitalism, or like, what did she call it? Market freedom or whatever. Those are the ones that are succeeding, is her thesis. But just listen, it's a bunch of bullshit.
Who is his model? Now, the dirty mouths are gonna start shouting, "Oh yeah, see, authoritarian, blah blah blah." Whatever. Me, I want to talk only about
accusations of like authoritarian, and her response is whatever.
Yeah.
Brilliant mind.
Like, fucking
economic side.
How are you gonna argue with that, Aaron?
Yeah.
If you take Lee Kuan Yew and Singapore as your example, then it means that, like him, you're going to have to be serious about economic freedom. And that's exactly what he did. That's what Singapore did. When Singapore figured that out, they went on to put in the right reforms to make their environment some of the most business-friendly environments in the world, one of the most free markets environment in the world, and you saw the magic of Singapore. Today, Singapore is richer than its ex-colonizer, Great Britain. So when I hear people telling me today, "Oh, Africa is poor because of colonization," I'm like, please, let's move on from that. Does it have maybe a tiny percentage in where we are today? Maybe, and I don't know. But I know it's not the cause. Because if it were, many countless countries have been colonized before. And by the way, colonizing one another is humanity's history. It just happened that maybe Africa has been one of the last, colonized region in the world. So in our psyche, it is there, and it acts like nothing happened before to others. But flash news, it's the history of the world. We've been capturing each other back and forth, all of that. So anyway, but the truth is, Singapore, richer than Great Britain today. And then Hong Kong happened. And then because Hong Kong happened, China even today happened. Because China's like, wait a minute, what went on over there? And then China went on to do the exact same thing with its SEZs, the special economic zones. Some of them...
Well, this is classic, like when China does well, it's because of capitalism.
Right.
But it's also a communist hellhole. Which, by the way, like China was one of the poorest places on earth prior to communism. So...
This is absolute, like everything that she said has been nonsense. Like, fucking nonsense. But this type of content is perfect. Like, when you make right-wing content like this, you don't have to make it hold up. It does not matter. They don't fucking care. They don't want to know. It
kind of sounded like she was trying to make the argument of, like, if you look elsewhere in the world, like, colonization didn't have a harmful effect, but... I mean, America was colonized. How are the Native Americans doing?
Right.
Like,
all over the place. Like, it's always been that way.
Yeah.
And so she gets funding from this fucking libertarian think tank called the Acton Institute. So look at this.
But even like the example she gave, like Singapore, like, but it is like that is also like very economically prosperous, but also like in a very tiny, like few number of people there.
It's like
rich,
Dubai or something. Like
yes, it's like well, but I think even Dubai, like the citizens get like a stipend of the oil money. Like
right.
Singapore, I think, is a place where it's like very much like extreme wealth inequality.
So this is her employer, basically. I mean, she has her own like fucking lip balm company, but this is the right wing think tank that she works for. So the Acton Institute for the Study of Religion and Liberty is an American research and educational institution or think tank in Grand Rapids, Michigan, with an office in Rome, whose stated mission is to promote a free market, virtuous society characterized by individual liberty and sustained by religious principles. Its work supports free market economic policy framed within Judeo-Christian morality, and it has been alternatively described as conservative and libertarian. Acton Institute also organizes seminars to educate religious leaders of all denominations, business executives, entrepreneurs, university professors, and academic researchers in economics principles. So that's who that lady works for, essentially.
Well, yeah, and I think what's so funny about it is, like, much like the Candace Owens thing, is the right wing. I mean, the right wing says they hate identity politics and, like, don't just cast a black actor in the job. It should be to go to the best person.
Right.
But they actually, like, they literally, if you're black and willing to say, like, horrific racist things, like, you got a job.
Yeah.
And, like, this woman is a great example of that. Like, what does lip balm have to do with any of this?
Right.
Like, what is the connecting thing?
Yeah.
Is lip balm, like, a big industry? Or, like, what am I missing something? Doesn't everyone sell lip balm? Like, like, you go to the dentist and they have a lip balm. Like,
right. Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, it's...
She says, though, that Africa is not poor because of colonization. It has nothing to do with it.
Well, I guess I just gotta take her out. I just gotta accept what she says.
Yeah. I think we've done enough time.
Yeah.
What do you think? I'm hungry.
I think we could go another hour.
Another hour?
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
It's like a Godfather
For sure.
show. Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here. Come see us this weekend. I mean, when I say us, I mean me. At the Fountain City Comedy Festival in Kansas City, Missouri. I don't know when this episode drops, but the 13th through the 15th. If you look at my Instagram, you'll see my schedule on there. I'm gonna do one show on the 13th, and then 2 shows on the 15th. The most important being Catch a Trying Star at 7 o'clock Saturday, October 15th. And that's going to be very good. It might sell out ahead of time, so get your tickets online at the Fountain City Comedy Festival website. Other than that, check out my online store. I've got some cool shit. I might release a t-shirt for National Prayer Breakfast pretty soon. We're doing drop shipping, I think is the term for that. So
maybe a lip balm.
Maybe we'll do lip balms.
Some free market capital.
A little free market capitalism.
Balms.
But we're gonna do some cool National Prayer Breakfast merch. So be on the lookouts. Thank you guys for being loyal. You're loyal hoes. And we love that about you. You've been watching a lot.
Toodles.
Ugh.